Newhall.
The Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. Your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
It is 8:10 on your hometown station, KHTS. It is the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. And also, for right now, Dr. Rochelle Feldman with Prima Pediatrics. And I have to say that slowly or I get tongue-tied. Prima Pediatrics.
It's kind of like Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Exactly. So I have to say it nice and slow. Hey, how you doing, doctor?
I'm doing great, thank you. I have to say that this morning, my 4.5-year-old granddaughter said to me at breakfast, because she has breakfast with Grandma on Thursdays, and she said to me, if you're going to be on the radio, what are they going to do with your body? Because it's only your voice.
True. You know, the kids think in mysterious ways, and isn't that wonderful that they do?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I loved it.
You know, she knows you're going to hear it. So then what do? The body's a total waste. Total waste, right?
Total waste.
But in all honesty, you can go back and tell her that actually we record these interviews and put them on our YouTube page for in case someone can't hear it or see it at the time that we do it. We have a lot of commuters in the morning. Not that she's going to know the word commuters, but
actually she does.
Does she? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I did tell her, actually. But I'll tell you, it's always fun to start my morning with one of my grandkids.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's talk about what everyone seems to be talking about, and I guess I'm not going to say we're panicking, but we certainly our eyes are opening up a little bit wider lately with the measles kind of making this comeback. What's going on with that?
Well, what's going on with that is the anti-vaxxers are finally getting their in-your-face. And what it is that if immunization rates drop below a certain percent, and in this case it's about 95%, then it leaves a large number of unimmunized individuals in any community. All they need is a traveler or anybody from an outside community who themselves were not immunized to bring it back, usually in this particular outbreak internationally. And then forget it, you're dead meat, because all they need to do then is go into an enclosed space and all the unimmunized people in the room are going to be exposed, and then it spreads like wildfire.
I was going to say, how hard is it to spread the measles? Is it a cough? Is it a touch? Or is it all of the above?
Anything.
So it can be airborne.
Huge. Yes, it's not can be. It is airborne.
Mm-hmm.
And it lives on the favorite fours: food, feces, fingers, and fomites. In other words, on anything.
Favorite fours. I love it. I love it.
It lives on anything. So, and it lives for an extended period of time. It is one of the most infectious organisms known to man.
I have questions for you. So, measles, chicken pox, if you get it as a kid, you have the chance of getting shingles later on as an adult. Measles, does measles have a thing like that? Or is it just measles throughout adulthood as well?
It's primarily measles throughout adulthood. There is an autoimmune response that can happen with measles. So far, we haven't seen much of it, but that causes what we call measles panencephalitis, which kind of destroys your brain.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, yeah. It's not fun, but that's a very unusual complication. The more common complication is the actual measles encephalitis.
How dangerous is measles to an adult?
Very. It's very dangerous to children, too. I mean, it is a dangerous disease. It's deadly. Now, everybody says, oh, come on, I had measles when I was a kid, at least in my generation they do. And I did, too, for that matter. Mm-hmm. I had measles, I had mumps, I had rubella, I had chickenpox. I had them all because there were no vaccines when I was a kid. And, you know, when I had measles, everybody in my neighborhood had it. We all got it at the same time. Everybody. I was 4.5, and all those kids got it. And we all managed to survive, except for one little boy. This is on a single street in Detroit, okay? So just think about this. One little boy across the street, Bruce Goodwin, I remember his name still to this day. He died. But everybody else survived.
How old was he? 5, 6, 7?
He was 5.
5 years old. what is happening? I've heard, now I had, listen, it's a choice, and I'm trying to be fair to everyone. It's a choice to have your child vaccinated. That's your choice as a parent. I chose to vaccinate my daughter. She got everything on the little card. You know, the card that they give you when they're...
Yes.
Okay. So she got everything all the way through, even boosters now in adulthood.
Good.
However, I know some people choose not to. What are the primary reasons for the anti-vaxxers to... What are they saying is the downfall with being vaccinated?
Well, it's not a single one thing for a lot of people. Mostly, it's fear. It's fear that overcomes reason. There isn't a single vaccine or a single medication on Earth, or even a single natural herb on Earth that can't have a bad effect on some people. Nothing is 100% harmless. Nothing.
Well, no, I mean, we hear it all the time when we see drugs being advertised on TV. This drug will do wonders for this, and then you hear the side effects may cause blah, 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 blah. And so everyone is different.
By the way, it might kill you, but that's okay.
But exactly.
But the truth of the matter is nothing is harmless. Mm-hmm. The whole issue when it comes to medicine in general is what is the greater harm, to do or not to do? Right. And you have to look at the statistics, and you have to know enough science and math to understand what that means. A lot of people have trouble with statistics. I, for one, it took me forever. To me, 1 in 1,000, wow. 1 in 1,000. What if I'm the one? Right. But I can't see the other 999. You can only see the one. In this case, anti-vaxxers, number one, are either a completely uneducated, so they believe anything that anybody tells them. It's kind of like that commercial on TV a number of years ago where they had, I don't even remember what they were advertising, but they had this young lady come by, and the guy says, well, do you believe anything that you read on the internet? And she says, yeah. Here's my boyfriend. He's from France. And the guy lumbers by and he says, bonjour.
I totally remember that. Yes, exactly.
In other words, people believe, first of all, the internet spreads a lot of stuff, some of it very good and some of it very bad. Mm-hmm. And unless you're intelligent enough to sift out the good from the bad, then you're going to be in trouble because you might believe everything you read.
Well, see, we shouldn't do, yeah. And here's the bottom line, Doctor, is that if you get some information from the internet, always feel free. This is what the internet's about. Get some information. But the bottom line, go to the doctor and then say, hey, this is what I read. Any truth to this? Take me down the road I'm supposed to go. I do that with my doctor all the time. I read a little information. I say, hey, would this be good for me? And he'll say, yeah, not really. Not really. Good for some, not for you. You have to have that conversation.
Well, the reason you have to have the conversation is because clearly somebody has more information about it than you do. Now, that is not to say that I am not a healthy skeptic on a lot of things, including that stuff in medicine. But you have to be intelligent enough or educated enough to understand what it means. Then we have the secondary and the tertiary portions. One is there's a significant group of the anti-vaxxers who don't believe anything that the government says or does. And that includes vaccines. They don't believe in any kind of big government. They believe in their rights to carry their guns and shoot anybody who disagrees with them, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's one portion. Another portion are those people who either have autistic kids or in their family or themselves or are afraid of it because of a stupid study that turned out to be false. It was actually fabricated by the author, Andrew Wakefield, in England in the 1990s. And I clearly remember when this article came out because I was part of the research group to determine whether or not there was any accuracy to it. Because we all believe if it's published in the Lancet, there may be something to this. Mm-hmm. So we did all the research, couldn't confirm his findings. And there was a reason, because he fabricated it. He literally lied. He created a study that never existed.
But he put the fear in everybody. But it's too late. It's toothpaste out of the tube. You know that. You realize that,
I
doctor,
know,
right?
the toothpaste is out of the tube. Try
So
putting it back in.
You can't. So once
Even though the man lost his license and was put in prison.
we don't know that. Like that wasn't as public as the actual study.
Right.
Do you follow?
Yes,
So
I know.
it's once you have that information, you can't let go of it. And it's a tough. Listen, we could talk this subject. We could talk for hours about this.
Oh, absolutely.
And pro con all this other stuff. But what I want to do is I want to let people know if they are looking for a pediatrician, you're one of the best right here in our own valley. The name of the practice is Prima Pediatrics. It's on Via Princessa. Phone number, I hope I have it right, 424-9000.
You got it.
There you go. Also on the internet, where you will find accurate information in this particular case at Prima Pediatrics. Is it .net?
.net.
.net. There it is. Dr. Rochelle Feldman with Prima Pediatrics. Always a pleasure having you, and I always learn a little something. That's for sure.
My pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Okay.